व्यक्ति सोशल वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट में डायरेक्टर थे। वो महानुभाव हमारे बीच में बैठे हैं, काकी माधवराव साहब, उनको मेरा धन्यवाद आप सबके तरफ से। जैसे लक्ष्मण जी ने बताया 2002 में भोपाल कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई, उस समय मैं डायरेक्टर था एजेंडा सेट करने। आज इतने साल के बाद हम एकत्रित हुए, कई साल के बाद फिर हैदराबाद में, वो जो हैदराबाद है जो हमें शेड्यूल कास्ट सप्लान और ट्राइबल सप्लान के लेजिस्लेशन इस देश को दिया है। So it's a great occasion. I thank all the organizers, Center for Dalit Studies and all the organizers of this event to have invited me and given me this opportunity. And I was telling that in 1976 Harijan conference took place, in which there was a director in social welfare, Kaki Madhav ji, who is sitting with us, and Bhopal conference took place in 2002 when I was a director in Ministry of Social Justice in Government of India. And today in Hyderabad, it's a historic city where, ji. I'll mix up. Sir. But when we read the constitution, we will end up in dual language. Thank you. The scheduled caste supply and tribal supply law in 2013, Hyderabad has given us. And those people who relentlessly worked towards the achievement of the scheduled caste supply and tribal supply law are all sitting with us here. Some in the front row among you and some on the back. In fact, what I'd like to place before you in few points I want to tell today is that when we have reached our independence, we gave to ourselves a constitution. So when we go ahead as a republic, we need to go through the constitutional mandate. Today is a confluence of ministers, MLAs, activists, political party leaders, professors and officers from non-governmental organizations, activists who have been relentlessly working. Today is a very unique confluence. बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सम्मेलन है आज के दिन, वो हैदराबाद शहर में. Such a unique confluence where I feel that the deliberations on the concept note will bring out tremendous progress towards the constitutional mandate. So everyone knows about the preamble. सबको विदित है preamble में sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, liberty, justice, equality and fraternity. सबको पता है. But is the preamble justiciable? Should we go before a government or before a court and say, please implement my preamble? Can we say that? क्या हम कह सकते हैं हमारा preamble implement करो? आज आपके सामने मैं एक महत्वपूर्ण आर्टिकल आपके सामने रखने वाला हूँ, जो मैं समझता हूँ the most important and crucial decision of the Constituent Assembly. बाकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है ना ऑपरेशनल मेथड्स है, इलेक्शन कैसे होंगे, गवर्नर क्या करेंगे, कैबिनेट क्या करेंगे, but the core and a revolutionary step in the Constitution did is the abolition of untouchability. That is Article 70. हमने क्या किया? Article 17 को 3 लेजिस्लेशन में बदल दिया. 1950 के बाद 1955 में अनटचेबिलिटी ऑफेंसेस एक्ट आया. अनटचेबिलिटी ऑफेंसेस एक्ट क्यों आया? कि एबॉलिशन ऑफ अनटचेबिलिटी, और हमने अनटचेबिलिटी का प्रैक्टिसेस और कोई भी अनटचेबिलिटी के तहत जो डिसेबिलिटी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन आता है उसको क्रिमिनलाइज किया. कि आप ये काम करेंगे तो हम आपको एफआईआर दर्ज करके जेल में डालेंगे। अनटचेबिलिटी ऑफेंसेस एक्ट को रिवाइज किया गया 1976 में एज प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सिविल राइट्स। Why I am focusing today on Article 17 is what I feel that is the single most crucial decision of the Constituent Assembly. Rest were administrative and procedural aspects. 1976 में जब हम प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सिविल राइट्स एक्ट है थोड़ा इंप्रूव किया हमने अनटचेबिलिटी ऑफेंसेस से, कुछ और बातें डाल दी, we put few more sections into and try to implement it. Means after almost 25 years of the Republic, after 25 years of the Republic, हमने change करने की कोशिश की. Then comes the 1989, the Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities. So all these three legislations emanate from the Article 17. So we have limited, restricted the mandate of Article 17 into three legislations. Now two legislations. Untouchability Offences Act became Protection of Civil Rights. So ECR Act and PO Act. Our lot of people, activist friends, know these two. But then only solely focused on SC/ST Atrocities Act. Now what was the intention of Article 17 when the Constitution came about? Let us try to understand. I will read it out. मैं आपको पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा. Untouchability is abolished in its and its practice in any form is forbidden. कौन सा तारीख से? From which date? 26 January 1950. Untouchability is abolished and practice of in any form is forbidden. Now comes the next line. Enforcement of any disability. At that time the word disability was used. Nowadays we use the words like atrocities, discrimination. Enforcement of any disabilities arising out of untouchability shall be an offence. So criminalized, we have criminalized that activity. It's a crime. Punishable in accordance with law. Now does Article 17 restrict only to criminalizing the discrimination arising out of untouchability? Now here nowhere untouchability is defined in the Constitution. There is no definition. So when you bring a law, it gives us a kind and a sense of definition of untouchability, which we see in the Protection of Civil Rights Act and the Scheduled Castes, Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act. But is that so? Is it all? In fact, what I understand, this is the single most crucial article in the Constitution which supports two more articles which Dr. B.R. Ambedkar very meticulously inserted. Article 15 proviso, reservation in education. Article 16.4 proviso, reservation in jobs. Why should the Constitution bring in within the fundamental rights the reservation for education and reservation for jobs? Because it emanates from Article 17. If there is no Article 17, why should any framer of a constitution bring in reservation in jobs and reservation in education? Because it's a form of a disability imposed on the untouchables, scheduled castes, whatever you call them, Dalits. That is why the remedy, Baba Sahib, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar says, it's a remedy. It's a remedy that he brings in against any form of discrimination of untouchability. That is why I am still revolving towards 17. Why today I am speaking about 17 is all done and forgotten today. Unfortunately, people who have more voice among scheduled castes are the employees. They only talk about 16.4, reservation in promotion and recruitment. Reservation in promotion and recruitment. We forgot about 17. And 15.4, reservation in educational institutions. The core of Article 17, जो Article 17 ने हमें mandate दिया Constitution में, it is in the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights section के अंदर अगर untouchability का abolition लिखा हुआ है, तो untouchability abolition के तहत कुछ भी remedy निकलता है, it is also a fundamental right. I therefore tries to place before you for your discussion the next 2 days that Article 15 and Article 16 arise out of the fundamental right of the abolition of untouchability. This is one aspect I like to place before you, because when untouchability was abolished and 55 Act came in, they repealed 21 legislations. I'll just very quickly read out to recap. एक बार समझने के लिए कि क्या हुआ था कि 21 लेजिस्लेशन को हमने रिपील किए थे 1955 में. बिहार हरिजन रिमूवल ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी एक्ट 49, बॉम्बे हरिजन रिमूवल ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी एक्ट 46, बॉम्बे हरिजन टेम्पल एक्ट 47, सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस एक्ट ऑफ 47, सेंट्रल प्रोविंसेस एक्ट ऑफ टेम्पल एंट्री 47, ईस्ट पंजाब 48, मद्रास 38, ओडिशा रिमूवल ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी 46, ओडिशा टेम्पल एंट्री 1948, United Provinces Act of 47, West Bengal Hindu Social Disability Removal Act 48, Hyderabad Harijan Temple Entry Regulation Fasli 1358, Hyderabad Harijan Removal of Disabilities. See, this is a continuous list. Mysore Temple Entry, Saurashtra, Travancore, Cochin Removal of Disabilities Act, the local 1125 Samvat 1950, the Travancore Cochin Temple Entry Act 1850. That is 1950. Coorg Scheduled Caste Removal Act, Coorg 21 legislations. 1936, sir, I am corrected because I picked it up from the 55 law. Thank you, sir. What I am trying to place before you, as what I understand and try to place before you, is that Article 17 is so powerful. Article 17 cannot impose any reasonable restrictions. हमारे यहाँ Article 19 है freedom का article, freedom to speech, freedom to movement, freedom to do anything. उसमें हमारे ऊपर restriction impose करता है Constitution. आपको freedom है कोई चीज manufacture करने के लिए, but आपको बॉम्ब बनाने के लिए नहीं freedom दे सकते. That is a restriction. आपको कोई भी व्यापार कर सकते हैं, बट उसमें भी रिस्ट्रिक्शन होता है. आर्टिकल 17 में रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. हम अनटचेबिलिटी अबॉलिश किया था, उसमें कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं. तो आर्टिकल 17 आर्टिकल 19 का जो फ्रीडम वाला आर्टिकल है उससे भी ऊपर है. अब आते हैं हम मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल अदर देन 17 इज आर्टिकल 46. उस आर्टिकल 46 को इस शहर में हैदराबाद में शेड्यूल कास्ट सप्लाइन एंड ट्राइबल सप्लाइन की लॉ है. आई कम टू द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल, आर्टिकल 46. व्हाट डज इट से? इट्स अ डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी. इट्स अ डायरेक्टिव. स्टेट शैल प्रमोट विथ स्पेशल केयर educational and economic interests of the weaker sections of the people. Educational and economic interests of the weaker section of the people, and in particular scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Next comes another proviso, and shall protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitation. जो आर्टिकल 46 हमारे सामने इतने बड़ी मैंडेट सामने रखता है. अगर आप आर्टिकल 17 का अर्थ को समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, आर्टिकल 46 के साथ पढ़ेंगे, आर्टिकल 46 में जो स्टेट का ऊपर एक डायरेक्टिव दिया है कि आप इनको प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे सोशल इंजस्टिस से, ऑल फॉर्म्स ऑफ एक्सप्लॉयटेशन से, इनका एजुकेशनल इंटरेस्ट देखेंगे, इकोनॉमिक इंटरेस्ट देखेंगे. आर्टिकल 17 से अगर 46 पढ़ेंगे, आर्टिकल 46 हमारा फंडामेंटल राइट बनता है फॉर द शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट ऑफ द शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स. इट इज नो मोर अ डायरेक्टिव. Everything emanates from Article 17. So whether it's 14, whether even the political reservations under Article 332. So what happened? We have a constitutional mandate. संवैधानिक ढांचे के अंदर हमारे सामने दायित्व है. What did we do? We did very good. As a nation, as a country with a constitutional mandate, we tried to do very good. That at least we should recognize after 75 years of independence. एक बार याद करते हैं. Let's remember 1932 Baba Sahib brought in the political reservations in the 1935 Act. In 1937 the first ever Dalit MLA, scheduled caste MLA, won an election. So many MLAs came up. In 1944, the most crucial scheme, post-matric scholarship, was initiated by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a member of the Viceroy's Executive Council. Even today, post-matric scholarship exists. He also started overseas scholarship. So in one of the speeches of Baba Sahib in Rajya Sabha, he said that this scheme was stopped by C. Rajagopalachari when he became education minister. But of course, the scheme is today existent in several states and in the central government. SC hostels, BC hostels were started. States like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana have a huge residential school system. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the first person who pushed in the reservation in jobs. He got it in central government notification on 11th August 1943 with 8.1/3%. 8.1/3% in 43. That continued after 1950 also. When there was a doubt on the reservation in education institutions, the first ever constitutional amendment was introduced by inserting Article 15(4). Reservation in education first amendment द्वारा हमें मिला था. तो हमने what did we do with 46? We started SC/ST finance corporations. We further ensured abolished manual scavenging, rehabilitation of manual scavengers, free coaching, national fellowship and scholarship for PhD students, and the concept of scheduled caste subplan and tribal subplan emanate out of 46. ये जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट है, इसको हमें दोबारा एक बार अवलोकन करने का कोशिश करने का मौका मिला हमें 2 दिन में. एक बार हम वापस जाके हम इसको देख सकते हैं. जो कॉन्सेप्ट नोट बनी है, आप सब लोगों ने बनाया है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मैंडेट में क्या क्या इश्यूज उसमें रेज होते हैं? लाइवलीहुड्स, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एजुकेशन, बाबू माట్లాడो तो, एजुकेशन, entrepreneurs, industries, issues about land, issues about poverty alleviation, atrocity prevention, of course, budgetary support, special care for women, health care, nutrition, and of course, reservations in jobs. These are all encompassing. But we have one issue before us. That is, after 1990, we moved ahead with a great reform. The globalization, liberalization and privatization. It was thought as a positive move. It brought in lot of changes in the economy, lot of changing in the job market. We also need to look back whether the constitutional mandate needs to be further taken as an action plan, as an agenda, which the deliberations of this very august gathering would do. But the most important thing again about this city, along with the people who are sitting here, Lakshmayaji, Center for Dalit Studies, Madhav Gaur, and all of you, created a revolution. It's more than a revolution. For my understanding, after the constitution was enacted in 1950 and Article 17, few laws came out. The single most important legislation for the upliftment of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes came as a scheduled caste subplan and a tribal subplan legislation in United Andhra Pradesh. Now it exists in Andhra, Telangana, and also in Karnataka. What was the mandate of the legislation? Which ensure accelerated development of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, with emphasis, these were all drafted by Madhav Gaur, with an emphasis on achieving equality in the coming years, focusing on economic, educational, human development along with social security and social empowerment. But how ये सारे हम कैसे अचीव करेंगे? By earmarking a proportion of the budget equivalent to the population of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and then create a scheduled caste special development fund and scheduled tribe special development fund, and apart from creating, have effective institutional mechanisms for the implementation as mandated by law. So this was the most important legislation after Untouchability Offences Act. No other legislation came. Of course, abolition of manual scavenging and rehabilitation law came. It's a very crucial and important act, which is a part of this mandate. Today, I tried to place before you the constitutional mandate. Because when we look at this thing, people say, okay, we should need more training in skill development, we need more technical training, we need coaching, okay, we need to have more hostels. Everything emanates out of 46. 46 emanates out of Article 17 of abolition of untouchability. Everything emanates out of it. And that is where, when a scheduled caste subplan and a tribal subplan legislation comes in, what all the demands that come in of education interest, economic interest, social injustice, any kind of an exploitation, will all fall into that kind of a wider legislation, where one can certainly study and understand what Andhra Pradesh has done, what Telangana has done, and what Karnataka has done. Maybe we request Manipal Lakshmayaji to maybe inform this August gathering the kind of progress and development they have done. I hope these deliberations will bring out an action plan so that the dream of the father of our constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, are fulfilled. Thank you so much. Dhanyavad.